Hello everyone. This video is for those who always feel caught up in someone else's shame, whether it be a family member or a friend, or just your family name in general. In my opinion, if you did not do it, then you do not need to apologize. It doesn't matter if your family did it, or even if your race did it. I never forget my family had someone come to the door who was delivering something to us, and upon realising that we were of African descent, he started to apologise for how the South Africans, because he was South African, had treated Africans in the past. He was not like that. He had not done it, so why was he apologising? He didn't need to. We don't need to carry around our family's baggage and history forever. It also goes out to the people who have parents or family members who really like to drink. The ones that really love fermented grape juice and they really can't stop drinking it. You don't need to apologise for them. You did not provide them with fermented grape juice, and if you were one of those children who had to go and get things for your parents because they asked you to, you were a kid and you don't need to apologise. However, you can stop the chain and make it so that you don't carry on the cycle. Because your parents are addicted to fermented grape juice, it doesn't mean you have to be. If your parents behave badly when on fermented grape juice, you don't have to. Don't carry on the cycle. Stop it now if you see yourself becoming the person that you don't want. And I repeat, stop apologising for that family member, because you are covering up for their actions. They will never learn if they don't feel shame. Once they feel it and it gets too much for them, then they will take action. But if you are always covering up for them, they will never learn. Take, for example, the remaining family members of that German guy. His family members have decided to not have children. I'm sure they probably wanted to have them, but because of who they are, they have decided to live out their days in peace and cut the line dead. They were his niece and nephew. They're not even his kids, but because of the name, they feel that they shouldn't carry on the line. I mean, in my opinion, the uncle was a despicable human being, and I think we can all understand that. But why should they have to suffer? They didn't support him. They don't condone his actions, yet it's as if they feel they are tarred with the same brush because of his name. That's not fair. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to make this video, because you don't need to be like this. Don't apologise for your family members if it's not your fault. Stop carrying your family's baggage and everything with you. Unless you did the crime, stop apologising for it. Did you go and give them money for fermented grape juice? No? Then stop apologising. It's not your fault. You don't condone it, so stop. I don't watch Dr. Phil, but the one piece of advice I did see him give that I actually thought was useful was don't reward bad behaviour. You wouldn't do it if you had a pet that was doing something you didn't like. If your dog kept biting you, you would tell them that they were doing something wrong and punish them. While you can't punish your parents, you can show that you do not support their behaviour, and if they do something embarrassing, don't cover up for them. When they feel shame, they will stop when it gets too much for them. If that person is using fermented grape juice and they're very, very loud, apologise for the noise, but don't apologise for the person. And this video is very important because a lot of people who have parents like this feel they are going to turn into this parent or are already turning into this parent. This is where you stop. You see what the problem is and you turn a different road. If you follow the pattern of the parent you don't want to copy, you will copy them. This also goes for anyone who has had anything done to them when they were a child. You don't have to copy it. Cut the cycle and go a different route. Do it now, because once you don't, you can't go back. And if your actions land you in prison, are you really going to be happy with the route that you took? And I tell you, we all have family members that we're ashamed of, but the secret is to not give them more attention than is necessary. Don't let them take up free headspace without rent. They're not worth it. Oh, and the more you start thinking you're going to end up like the person that you're trying to avoid, the more likely you are to do that, because that's what you're focusing on. And men, I want you to listen more closely, because you carry the most burden. You are the ones that are focused on the most when it comes to any bad behaviour that you do. As handsome as you are, you can't use your good looks to get out of every situation, so you have to make sure not to go down that path to begin with, because it's harder to wriggle out of. You would need money to flash at the judge, and even then you still may not get out of it completely free. It's not worth it, so don't go down the path in the first place. If you see yourself going down that path already, this is what you do. Stop. Step back. Now evaluate who you are and which direction you're going in. Compare it to the people you want to be like and the people you don't want to be like. Set goals and keep going. Also, men, this is very important. If you feel overwhelmed with what it is that you're trying to do, ask for help. It doesn't matter whom you ask or who you confide in, but if you feel you can't do it alone, then don't. Make sure it's someone that you trust completely and who you know will not drag you down. And if you need to have therapy or a doctor's help, go for it if you feel it's what you need. Do not let people and what people might think of you stop you, because once you get better, anything they said will be forgotten because you will feel better. This is also especially important for anyone who has had a family member who is either going to end up turning to soil because of their actions or has turned to soil because of their actions. That's not your fault. Do not think it. By the way, before I go, just to let you know, it's Glaucoma Awareness Month, so if you need to go and have an eye test, now might be the time to do it. You can't watch my videos if you can't see. If you're still here, then I want you to know that my community is very important to me, and this is why I'm going to say this. You're handsome, and you're beautiful, and you, well, I'm speechless. I'll let you know next time I see you. Over to the pets. Hello all, this is Sylvie. If you liked what you saw, then subscribe for more.
Hey everyone, my name's Bonjo. If you enjoyed yourself, then give it a thumbs up and share it with all your friends.
Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and if you had fun, then comment down below and let my mum know who you look up to.